61. Conceptualizing your ideas across the world and beyond. TV 1061. Conceptualizing your ideas across the world and beyond. TV 1061. Conceptualizing your ideas across the world and beyond. TV 1061. Conceptualizing your ideas across the world and beyond. TV 1061. Conceptualizing your ideas across the world and beyond. TV 1061. Conceptualizing your ideas across the world and beyond.
Kings and queens, we are so excited today to have you join us. Listen, I need you to click share right now. Click share, 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 share this live. Like it as well. And we need you to comment today. We are looking forward to that. Listen, we stream live every Sunday at 4:30 p.m. right here in Douglasville, Georgia, where our executive producer is Felix Washington. Yes. And our social media manager is Shantae Barksdale. Listen, we have some great topics today because this is what we do here at Talk Show Divas. We talk about real hot topics. And I'm your host, Kat Davis, and you know they call me Queen Diamond. And my co-hosts are
LaTanya. Hello, everybody.
And Kay. Hi. Y'all see I'm rocking this fiery hairstyle, right? Listen, my birthday is on Friday. I'm excited. I'm getting the party started today. I went to church today, had a great time. Now we here doing the show. And my night is not finished all the way to next Sunday. Even though my birthday on Friday, I'm getting the party started today, y'all. I'm happy. I have a lot to be thankful for.
Yes, we all do.
Yes. So, listen, again, if any of you want to call in today, while we're having the show, you feel free to call 770-485-7724. Again, that number is 770-485-7724. We want to hear from you, and we want to see those comments. We want to see it. Let's see who's up here so far. We got Jermaine. Hi, Jermaine Clyburn. Hi, Atronda. Hey, how y'all doing? Hey, Mahogany. Hey, y'all. We appreciate you all joining us today. So, let's get into these topics. Y'all ready?
Yes.
So, our first topic today is about how they gassed the peaceful protests and arrested reporters in Minneapolis, and Minneapolis turned around and sued them. Now, some people would think that protests don't work. Well, we would beg to differ. I believe that protests do work, but that's just the short-term goal, because there's still more work to do even after the protests are done. And we're going to discuss that right now. And we definitely want to hear what you have to say as well. We have other topics where we're going to talk about, will people vote for Trump or Biden? We're going to also have another discussion on how we can help out Black-owned businesses, as well as the one that we definitely want to discuss is, does sisterhood still exist? Yeah, y'all stay tuned for those other topics. But let's dive right into this. LaTanya.
Yes, ma'am.
So, what do you think about, the protests? Do you really believe that protests work? Do you think that they are short-term goal, long-term goal? How does the protest work for us? Is it making a difference?
I absolutely think the protests are making a difference. We're seeing a lot of good things come out of the protesting that's been going on so far, even in as much as we're seeing other countries not only participating in our mission at this time, but we're seeing other countries who have their own missions,
right,
their own agendas coming out and protesting. So it's almost like everybody is finally finding their voice. When I was preparing for the show today, I came across this website, and there's an actual guide that's put out by this group. It's called the Resistance Guide. And what they do is they actually study and research protests, and they help people who want to, participate in protests. They help you actually strategize on what's going to make it effective and meaningful. And the one thing that I saw consistently throughout that page was that the thing that makes them so incredible is the unity that they bring, because they give one voice, to a common goal.
Right.
But it's also the fact that they bring voice to the voiceless. So in a world where we have, social media that, takes a bulk of our communication, takes a bulk of what we're hearing communicated publicly, where media, people with money that can buy TV time and airtime and things like that. So in a world where it's almost as if you have to have money or something else to be heard, protests give voice to those people who would normally not be heard.
Wow.
And so I think that's why we're seeing so much positive things coming out of these protests right now. We're seeing more money being put into Black endeavors. We're seeing, changes in policies and procedures with the police departments. We're seeing all kinds of change come about because there's now attention being paid to this matter because people have put their voices to it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So what about you, Kay?
So I think protest does work, and I am forever grateful to see that is more than African American that's standing up for our voices to be heard. I think long as it stay peaceful, we'll have a better chance of getting, more done.
Correct.
Long as it's, not, we can't continue to tap what we need, essential needs, and places that we have to get our essential products from. But if we do it in a way where it's peaceful, I think we can be heard even more, long as it's staying peaceful. So I'm just glad to see that. Across the country, the whole nation is standing up for this, and I'm very, very happy to see that.
Well, I know that I heard you just say about having peaceful protests. And what I've learned, I've been watching a lot of videos and social media and people going back and forth with each other. And I actually had some people that were actually mad at me because I talked about reckless rioting. And there's a difference, like I said, between rioting versus reckless rioting.
Yes.
Because I'm not against them rioting. If they're angry, if that's the purpose of the assignment that they have, then that's their assignment. My thing is, don't be mad at other people because they choose to do peaceful protesting.
Yes.
You know, because we all have to play our part. And in life, what I've learned, we all are different to assigned to different positions.
Yes.
So you play your position your way, and I'm going to play my position my way, but that doesn't mean that we're all are not at the same common goal. We're all trying to reach the same common goal. And what I learned is protest, actually it directs attention. So and that's why I see that it works. It directs attention, and once you get that attention though, where do you go from there? Because it's absolutely getting the attention of the president,
Of course.
who doesn't like it, to the point where, you know, they want to gas people that are trying to be peaceful. So you're angry because of the people that's rioting and the people that are looting. But then when you have people that's trying to do it in a peaceful manner, you want to gas them too, and you wonder why people are so angry. You know, so, but good for Minneapolis for suing them. Also, there was a protest recently that I just seen where they had the guy that's running for mayor, they made him leave because now Minneapolis actually wants to do away with police officers. So they want to defund the police. They want to defund the police. They want no more police officers at all. I don't know how that's going to work, to be honest.
Right. That's a topic we should delve into.
That right
Yeah.
there is
That's for
going
a
to be
topic.
a sticky situation.
Yeah, so maybe we can talk about that next time.
Definitely.
How can a state function properly and effectively with no police? Because that's what they're asking for. All I'm saying is protest, say it loud, say it proud. That's what I'm saying. I think that we all should play a part. My daughter went out and protested. What they did was they have all the young ladies to dress up. And they had their signs. It was beautiful. And they went out there and they protested. And I was very proud to see, you know, her being a part of our history.
Well, one of
Go
the
ahead,
things
Latonya.
that when they talk about the protesting and having peaceful protests versus non-peaceful protests, I think there's, you know, some people feel like a protest isn't as effective if it doesn't involve all the other elements, the
Right.
rioting and all of those other things. And, you know, I'm not sure how much truth there is to that, but the one thing that we do know because of the research that has been done on it is that the strength of protests is the numbers. It's getting as many people involved in it as possible. And unfortunately, when riots and things like that are born from protests, that actually deters people
Right.
because people don't want to be involved in riots. Some people don't. Some people
Right.
don't want to get involved. They don't want to risk getting hurt or having something physical happen to them while they're out trying to peacefully protest
Absolutely.
and things go sideways. So we have to be careful when we're protesting to really pay attention to what, you know, who else we're communicating to when we add the element of violence and destruction, things like that, because we may not be pulling as many people into the fold as we
Exactly.
could be
Absolutely.
to get their voices out there as well. So.
That is so true.
I've
That is definitely
seen
true.
where the people are asking for a Million American walk, like the Million Man Walk march. They're asking for a Million America march, and I think that right there would be. I mean, I haven't seen anything like this in all my life, and it's just amazing to see this taking place. And then you know the kids had to go through so much already, but it's bringing view to and sight to all of the things that has been happening and is happening that isn't fair and correct. So hopefully things will turn around and they'll change some procedures and policies for officers who think they can do anything that they want to people. So we just have to continue to do what we're doing and be safe about it. We have to be safe about it.
Absolutely. because like you said, we want big numbers, and then the big numbers do make a difference when we can all come together, state by state, and really take a stand. And not only that, but even those that are coming together in numbers for the protesting, some of us have to come together after the protesting to say, okay, what is next? What do we do? How are we going to strategize? Because that's another element that comes along with the protesting. Protesting is, like I said, to get the attention. Now that we have your attention, where do we go from here? And I think some people are missing that. It's so much more to it. Protests bring social and economical marginalized groups to the foreground. Protests promote solidarity, and it's an expression of a shared fate. That's what it is. So let's all encourage others. So viewers, we want to know what you think about this as well. What do you think about the protests? What do you think about the rioting? What do you think about the looting? So many people have so many different opinions. The only thing that bothers me is that some people think their opinion is the only opinion that matters, when everybody's opinion matters. If we take the time to listen to each other and come up with a common goal, because we all want the same thing, instead of getting angry with each other because we're doing exactly what they want. Us to get angry with each other and lose focus on what it's all about, because now we're focusing on, because you got to understand, they're outside people that come to your state and looter, right? And so it looks like they are just like our people are destroying things, but then you got other races that are doing the same thing. So we just want everybody to come together. Let's make things happen in an effective manner where we can see results. That's what we want to do.
Yes.
And I hope you all want to do the same thing. I need you to stay tuned. Don't go away. We'll be right back. We're going to take a break, and we'll be right back with Talk Show Divas. Don't go nowhere.
Welcome to Burke's Jewelry. How may I help you?
We're looking for engagement rings.
We offer a wide selection. However, I believe we have just what you're looking for. Burke's Jeweler is your family's jeweler at 491 Flat Shoals Avenue Southeast, Atlanta, Georgia 30316 in East Atlanta Village.
Today's world exposes our youth to life experiences that are well beyond that which their years should allow. Violence, trauma, poverty, injustice. Our children's lives and their livelihoods are in constant danger. Wisdom, Inc. is a community-based organization designed to save young lives by reducing violence and assisting youth in their personal development. Wisdom stands for wise individuals structuring and developing youthful minds. Through our collective wisdom, we can change lives for the better. Wisdom, Inc. Reducing violence, developing youth, saving lives.
Hi, I'm Harry Leonard, and you're watching TV 1061, your global network. Hi.
Hey, we are back. I'm glad you're still here. You're still here. I need you to stay with us. We are about to talk about something very, very important. But right before we do, I just wanted to share with you, if you have a business or you have an organization and you want to market your business, if you want to show your banner here on our talk show as well as the other talk shows that we have going on during the weekday, you can email us at 1061tv@gmail.com, or you can email us at talkshowdivas1@gmail.com and get more information on how your banner or your business card can be right here on our show. We are so grateful for our sponsors, Burke's Jewelers. We're grateful also for the lady that is doing To Start Your Life Over. when she's talking about wealth, building your life all over again. So please, please, please make sure if you are interested in being a sponsor, you can always email us at 1061tv@gmail.com and ask how, or you can Cash App us, because Cash App does work, honey. It works. So you can Cash App us at TV1061 if you would like to donate to our shows to keep our shows going. And if you would like to be a guest, email us and we got you. Okay? So ladies, we're going to get on to the next one, to the next topic, of course. But also, I need y'all viewers to comment, share. And if you want to call in and talk to us about a specific topic that we're talking about, please feel free. We have the line right here waiting for you to hear your voice. The number you can call is 770-485-7724. So, ladies, we just talked about protesting and how it works. And we were saying that it's more to it than just protesting. That's just the start. Where do we go from here? After we're protesting, what else can we do? And one of the things that we want to talk to you all about is voting, because voting matters. And for some reason, people are being undecided on whether to vote for Trump or whether to vote for Biden. Now, I don't know who y'all are going to vote for, but we have to make sure that we pay attention to everything that a person is offering us. Is it going to be beneficial to us as a people? You know, so those things are very important. I had a situation where I received a phone call this weekend. They were calling around because some people didn't send in their ballots. Well, they didn't send in their ballots because they didn't know they were sent to them. So they've been sending information through the mail that looks like junk mail. So people have been throwing away thinking that, you know, it was nothing, when it was actually the paper where you're supposed to request your absentee ballot. Well, now on Tuesday, and I'm talking to every last one of you on Tuesday, please go and vote. The polls are open till 7 p.m. Don't let that stop you. Mask up, glove up, whatever you got to do. I need you to go and vote. But Kay, so
yes, ma'am.
What do you think about the voting process, and does it really matter? Because, you know, you have some people that feel like, I don't feel like my vote matters, and, you know, they're discouraged because they don't know whether to vote for Trump or whether to vote for Biden.
Well, I can tell you, I've been in that place before where I may have not wanted to vote for either party, but I knew I had to make a wise decision and choose the better person for what I hope we would get from them, of what they presented to the world, on what they would do for us and how they were going to be better than the last one in office. I do realize that no vote is not good. We have to vote regardless. I mean, just think about it. If you don't vote and you're upset about Trump, and if you have something going on in your mind about Biden, well, if you don't vote, suppose that one vote would help keep the person that you don't want out of office. So you have to make a decision and vote. I mean, I think it's important. I mean,
very important.
Our ancestors, they fought for this right for us. And I tell you, I think everybody should be able to vote. Prisoners, they should be able to vote as well. They should have a voice as well, because things need to change in the prison system as well, not just here in the free world, you know.
And that's another topic,
So I think that everybody's voice should be heard, and let's get out of the anger mode and just try to have a clear, sound mind on what the person is saying. I can't tell you how to do that other than, you know, seek God and see if, you know, you'll have a change of heart. But you have to vote.
Yeah.
You have to vote.
So Tanya, what is your stance on this voting? What is your stance on it?
Well, I think I was sharing this with you ladies before, that I came across this article that was, I believe it was in the New York Times, and the title of the article is "Black Americans Have a Message for Democrats, Not Being Trump is Not Enough." And I read that title, and honestly, my first response was, it's enough for me, because I know I can't do 4 more years of Trump. But I wondered what was, what energized the writer to write that article. And so I started doing a little bit of digging into that, and I found this quote from Stacey Abrams that I think really centers everything on what the issue is. She said, "You cannot motivate someone to a behavior that they don't believe will actually bring change." And so I think the problem that we're facing right now is that people are not motivated to go to the polls because they don't believe either way, whatever happens, they don't believe that any change is actually going to come from doing so. I read several articles that talked about people under the age of 45, and I think basically, and as well as reading articles about black voters. And what you see commonly running through all of those is that people are looking for change. They're looking for something different. They're looking for someone who's going to step out and make big changes, be bold. They want to see a more progressive, liberal stance on things. They want to see that really advocated for. And I was surprised to see that there were some people were saying they were flat out not going to vote at all. And some people, Democrats, said that they were going to go ahead and vote for Trump. But the reasoning that they gave behind that was really interesting. I read this one guy, and this is what he said. He said that he was absolutely appalled at the idea of voting for Trump. He really does not want to do it. He really doesn't want to have him in office another 4 years. At the same time, however, he said that he was going to vote for him because he believed, end quote, "If we don't declare as a movement that this isn't good enough, then the Democratic Party has every right to ignore us." So he feels like that is the way to get the Democratic Party's attention and let them know that we're serious about wanting to see, better candidates that are going to really push the agendas that we care about and that we're interested in, and change overall. So I think it's rather disheartening that at this time when there's again, when we talk about protests, one of the great things about protests is that they energize people. They have everybody saying the same thing you are. What are we going to do? What are we going to do?
Yes.
So I think it's really unfortunate that at a time when people are looking for what to do next, well, the next thing coming right around the corner is the opportunity to vote. Critical opportunity to vote. And I think it's really disheartening that people honestly feel so hopeless that they don't feel like whether Trump stays or goes, that there's going to be any difference. And I'm really sad about that. I'm really disheartened about that.
Wow.
I am too. I'm just in shock because I did not know that. I'm in shock that is the reasoning that they're going with. Elle Mason said, "Hey sis."
Hey.
And she said, "Vote, vote, vote."
Yes, Lakeisha. Yes, my sister. We gotta vote.
We gotta vote. We gotta vote. We got to vote. So I hope that you all are going to vote, because I want you to understand it does matter. Think about the time when Obama was running for president. And there were so many odds against him. And it just looked like it was going to go a different way. But one of the things that he kept saying over and over was, yes, we can. And yes, we can make a difference if we vote. If we take the time to say, hey, there's no way in the world I can put this person in office again and continue to go through the things that you have experienced already. There are so many things that we know that we can do now, where our forefathers, I think you mentioned something about how our forefathers fought for us to get to this point.
Yeah.
And a lot of people keep bringing up about our forefathers. But we're not living in the days of our forefathers anymore. We're living in these moments now, and we have more knowledge now. And we seen what they did and what they didn't do, what worked, what didn't work. And now we have black people in very high places now that have a lot of resources and that are very knowledgeable in a lot of areas. We have to reach out to those people, and we have to come to a common ground, you know, with one another, and help them to help push the issue of voting as well. You know, I just believe that we can overcome. I believe that we can make a difference. But you have to believe that for yourself. You know, you have to believe that.
And listen, I just want to tell you guys, you have to get active in your community as well. You have to go to these town hall meetings. You have to go to these community meetings that they have, and because it does make a difference. Like if you just sit there and don't have your voice heard, then no change is going to happen. We have to open our mouth and demand. I'm not saying ask, I'm saying demand what we want to see change. And it is more than just voting for the president. I mean, you have to vote for the Congress. You know, you have to vote for the mayors. You have to vote for these judges. You have to vote for these police chiefs.
Yep.
I mean, it's a slew of people that can make a difference for what we're asking for. We just have to get out and do our research, and don't be afraid to ask somebody if you don't know. I mean, it's okay not to know. Don't be afraid. I mean, you can ask whatever you think you may not have the knowledge on, somebody else may. And then if that person may not, they may know someone who does. So just think about that, and just know that we have to do more than just sit still and be silent. We just have to.
We do.
And even once we participate in the voting process and we put a person in place, regardless of whoever that person is, we also have the obligation to hold them accountable once they're there. So if they're not doing what we want them to do, if they're not living up to the expectations that we had of them when those commitments were made, then we need to take further action. So it's not a passive process by any means. You know, it's active from the minute you make your vote all the way through. You know.
Absolutely, and I like something that you said last week when you said that you're going to take the time to study each person.
Yes.
And that's something that is very important. Take the time, find out who is in your Congress, find out who is on those ballots, and study those people. Find out what they stand for. You know, is it something that, you know, is going to be beneficial to all of us as a whole? And especially to yourself. You know what type of community you in. You know what needs that you have in the community. What do they stand for? Is this a person that you want to stand on your behalf? And those are the things that is so important, that we have to learn how to research, and we need to learn how to study who people are, because it's going to make a difference in our community, and it's going to make a difference in our world. Like you said, holding people accountable is so important once they get in that office. So listen, I need you to stay tuned. We appreciate you sharing with us on today. We'll be right back. Our next topic is going to be, how can we help out a black-owned business? There are some things that we want to share with you, and I know you want to share some things with us too. We'll be right back. Stay tuned.
Hi, I'm Chief Gary Sparks with the Douglasville Police Department. Today we want to give you some safety tips concerning traffic stops. Take a look.
So you look in your rear view mirror and see flashing blue lights. What do? Remain calm. Yield to the right and pull your vehicle over into an off-road area that is safe for both you and the officer. Put your car in park. Remove your foot from the brake and turn the radio off. Remain in your vehicle. Have your driver's license readily available for the officer. Keep your hands on the steering wheel, visible for the officer at all times. If you need to retrieve any items from the interior, explain what you're reaching for to the officer and avoid any sudden movements. Rolling the window down completely establishes a level of trust with the officer and allows for ease of interaction during the routine traffic stop. Be courteous and polite. Be cooperative and willing to follow the officer's instructions. During a routine traffic stop, the officer will return to his vehicle to run the tag and driver's license verification and complete a citation if one is necessary. Once the officer returns and approaches your vehicle, whether or not a citation or warning is issued, please remain calm, courteous, and cooperative. Sign the citation acknowledging you agree to appear in court, and do not dispute the citation with the officer. The officer will give you a court date to explain or defend your infraction.
Okay, ma'am. Like I told you, I did clock you at 51 in a 35 mile per hour speed zone. I did issue a citation, okay? This here is going to be your court date. I just need a signature from you stating that you received a copy of this citation, okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. Here's your driver license.
Thank you.
Along with a copy of the citation, okay? Do you have any questions or concerns for me?
No, sir.
Okay, well, you have a nice day, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Following these few simple steps will help ensure a safe interaction for both you and the officer.
I hope these few tips help you as it relates to dealing with law enforcement and traffic stops. Not only in traffic stops, but in all encounters with law enforcement. We hope that all our encounters are safe for the citizens as well as for our officers. Again, we want you to be safe, and if you have any problems with the Douglasville Police Department, don't hesitate to give us a call and make your concerns known. I would add that Georgia is a right to carry state, and we hope that if you are carrying, that on these traffic stops and all encounters, please let the officer know that you are carrying. This will ensure your safety and our officers' safety. Thank you, may God bless you, and may God keep our community safe. We are one.
Hi, I'm Michael Cowell, your funniest man on the planet, and you're watching TV 1061, your global network. Stay tuned, because that's how they do it over here. Big time party! All right, see y'all later. Bye.
Welcome back to Talk Show Divas. Thank you for staying right here with us. We appreciate you so much. And listen, we continue to acknowledge our executive producer, Felix Washington, who makes it happen. Yes! As well as our social media person, Shantae Barksdale.
Thank you, Shantae.
So we salute you, Shantae. We salute you. And we're going to get back to talking on our topic, but right before we do, if you ever want to donate to us, because we always need help. It costs money to run shows like this and to get you all in tune, because you're a part of the show. So listen, you can Cash App us at TV 1061. Make any donation that you want to. We're a Black-owned TV network. You don't have too many of those. So we ask that you support us, as well as other Black-owned businesses. We are asking that you support them all. And one of the things that I want to say, speaking of that, one of our viewers, thank you so much, Deborah. Deborah said,
Swenson?
Deborah Boyce Larrier. She said, support a Black-owned business by not automatically looking for a hookup or a discount. When you are happy with the services, tell people you are happy. Like their page. I'm just saying. And I agree with you.
Thank you,
wholeheartedly,
Deborah.
Deborah. We appreciate you.
Thank you for that.
Yes. Because it is so many people that have black-owned businesses that are putting it on social media now, because we have the social media platform for them to share their business. We have people that are creating groups just for black-owned businesses. And you say you want to do something. We talked about voting matters, but we also, if you want to get into them pockets, if you want to do something, then support the black-owned businesses and just support them right now, you know, because we have to make a statement. So it's not always about a hookup. If it was any other business, if it was Macy's or any of these other businesses, we don't go in there saying, hey, can y'all give me the hookup? You know, we go in there and we pick out what we want and we pay for it. And so we have to start doing that, is supporting one another. And what I've learned now is that now, even in the normal times, black-owned small businesses are extremely more vulnerable than any other business these days. They have smaller cash smaller cash reserves, and nothing really to help carry them through. So we've seen a lot of the small business close up. Some of them that used to be in a retail environment now have to go mobile, which is fine. But we still need to support them, especially now through the tough times that we are going through, because many do not have their business completely in order. They're trying to get things together, and it costs money to do that. So why not support them? I took some of my clothes to the cleaners the other day, and she had a sign, because most of the time you pay after you come back to pick up your clothes. Well, they were asking on their sign, can you pay ahead of time, as that would really help us in these times. People are suffering right now, you know, and sometimes we don't know because we don't let people know. Don't be ashamed to let somebody know that your business needs help. You never know who will be able to help you. So before we continue on, before I say anything else, I want to give my co-hosts some opportunity to say some things. So Tanya, we're going back to you.
Yes, yes.
So the black-owned businesses, they need help.
Yeah, absolutely they do.
What are your suggestions? What do you say about all of this?
Well, the first one you said, the first thing we need to do is patronize them. We need to, we need to make it our business to visit black-owned businesses and to really research them, know what's out there. Over the course of the last few days, I've really tried to be attentive to that, and I have found, especially in Atlanta, it's just so wonderful for that. I have found spas, gyms, grocery stores, dry cleaners, like you said, nail salons, everything, almost everything that I need to get done, I have been able to find a black-owned business that can do it. And of course, restaurants, we know we got that covered.
Yes.
But definitely, oh yes, definitely patronize those places. The other thing you can do here in Atlanta, I don't know in other states or other cities and whatever they're doing, but here in Atlanta, there is a fund called the Atlanta Black-Owned Business Relief Fund. And the fund was established specifically for the purpose of helping black-owned businesses recover from the riots and looting and everything that took place in Atlanta. So you can actually go, it's a GoFundMe site, you can actually go to GoFundMe and contribute to this fund, which is going to be distributed directly to these black-owned businesses to help them get themselves back together so they can reopen and get going again. When I last looked, the fund had raised over $240,000.
Wow.
So that speaks tremendously to how committed the people of Atlanta are in seeing their businesses helped and getting them back on their feet. So definitely you can go to the GoFundMe for ABOBR and contribute in that and participate in that. They are also, that same group that organized that fund is also at this time making a list of people that are interested in volunteering. So something else you can do if you maybe can't contribute financially at this time, something else you can do is you might be able to go into that business at a later point and just help with cleanup. You might be able to, help them put up glass or put up window coverings, or you might be able to help with a sign or sweeping or, things like that you may be able to do to help those businesses out. So you can email that group, and they're actually keeping a list of people and a list of businesses that need help, and then they're going to reach out to those folks and say, here's what you can do.
That's awesome.
And then lastly, of course, protest peacefully. if we don't destroy anything, we don't have to repair anything. So if we can keep our black businesses protected, keep them out of the fray, so that they can, go on business as usual and continue to, support us as well and support the movement as well. We want them to be able to do that. But also, I just want to say real quickly, if you are a black-owned business that you are in need of some type of help, whether it's repair or funding or whatever it is that you need to get your business back on track, if you've been impacted by the riots of recent, please do reach out to that organization, because they are also making a list of all of the organizations, of all the businesses that could use their help so that they can distribute those funds appropriately. So please reach out to them and be a part of that as well.
That is awesome. I hope that if you did not get it, that you rewind it back so that you can get that information, that you can use it for yourself if you have your own business, or share it with others that are black-owned businesses to help them through. I wanted to add to that before we go to Kay and let Kay talk about her stance on helping out black-owned businesses. There is a website called DOBOBO. That's another site that you can go to that helps black-owned businesses. Also, the Black Chamber of Commerce. We need to make sure that we connect with the Black Chamber of Commerce. They are very powerful, very powerful in the community. Get to know who is in your state, who is in your city. And if they don't have anything like that, then y'all need to get together with others and establish that for your city, for black-owned businesses. I'm all for us rebuilding a black Wall Street. Again,
a lot of talk about that.
We are always talking about asking what can we do. Well, now it's time to stop talking about it and let's be about it. So in order to do that, that means you have to have community meetings. Somebody have to start. Maybe it's you. Maybe you're the one that needs to do this. If it's something that you're complaining about, then that means it's your calling to get the people together in your community. There are people that can have black grocery stores. Like you said, it can happen. If there's none there, it can happen. Black grocery store, black banks, black hospitals. Listen, talk to these people, write letters, do whatever you got to do. Set up meetings with people. There are a lot of black people that have a lot of money, that are very wealthy, that don't know what to do with it. If you got an idea, make it happen, because you can. But I'm going to let Kay go from here on her stance with the black-owned businesses.
Well, thank you, beautiful ladies. I can just say that LaTanya and yourself both touched on what I was going to actually speak on. And I think with us being in the career and entrepreneurship that we're in, we kind of like had the same idea and thought to collaborate on the same thing. But I want you guys to know that there are black-owned business banks out there. Like, start putting your money into your black-owned banks. I mean, I researched and I saw that United Bank was like one of the largest black-owned banks in America. I didn't know that before researching, preparing for this show today. And also Citizens Trust Bank is here in Atlanta as well. We just have to get out of what we're comfortable with doing and just try other things and be willing to help other people. I mean, like my sisters here on the show, they're very, very intelligent and they're very well to do whatever they set their minds to. But if I have an idea that I can help them with, I'm going to offer myself to help them. So we have to offer ourselves to help people. I mean, if you're a contractor and you know that somebody's trying to paint to prepare for an opening for something, okay, help paint, offer your service, and let's see if we can't come together as a family across the nation and not just be against each other. We have to empower each other and we have to uplift each other to motivate one another to, they may just need a push, to get them over They may be so fed up and disgusted with what they've been trying to do because they may not know which direction to go. Well, then if you know that you have an idea that can help them, just please do it. I mean, y'all on social media every single day. Y'all see people putting things out there that they need help with, or things that they're speaking on. If you can offer your service, offer your service. Everything doesn't have to have a price to it.
That's the truth.
I mean, you have no idea what you may get in return. No idea.
None whatsoever. One of the things, a lot of the Black-owned businesses, what they did not know was that they could have participated in the unemployment. So the unemployment is not just for individuals, but even employers can apply through the unemployment, through the Department of Labor for their big business. They also can apply for the PPP. They still have money available for the PPP. So I suggest that you go to sba.gov. Read the information, read the guidelines. Some of the problems that I found out, I've had a lot of people to call me with businesses, and their concerns were they didn't know what to put on the application. Well, first you have to make sure your business is in order. And one of the problems that we've had is a lot of small businesses not having their business in order. You have to have your EIN number, you have to be registered with the state, and you need to open up your business account, and you need to file your tax returns. Those are just a few of the things. But again, we salute all the small businesses, and we are going to always patronize them.
Yes.
We're going to do that, and we just want you all to do it too. Y'all stay tuned. We'll be right back. We're going to talk about, does sisterhood still exist? How can we be true sisters? And maybe brothers, we can talk about how you can be real brothers too. We'll be right back. Stay tuned.
So many Black lives incarcerated. So many Black lives silenced. When will we stop the madness?
Are you an artist, a writer of spoken word? Do you have content ready but need exposure? Get to know me. I'm Alicia, host of a new Facebook live stream show called The Flavor, where we promote local and international talent of all genres. Here are some rules and regulations to the videos that we'll be accepting. They must be radio ready, no cursing, no lewd language. You must send us contact information as well as a YouTube link to your video so we can extract it from there. Email us at 1061tv@gmail.com. And we thank you for your time.
Yes, we are back. Thank you for staying tuned in. I was just looking at what some of the viewers were saying, and I want to say that real quickly because this is our last segment, and we really want to talk about, does sisterhood still exist? But right before we do that, one of our viewers, Minister Keith Lott. Hi, Minister Keith Lott.
Hey, cousin.
Glad to have you on. Said that America, the government, had burned down Black Wall Street. Yes, they did. And Deborah Larrier said bartering is a good way to help each other out. Absolutely.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Absolutely. And listen, they burned it down for sure. But that doesn't mean we can't build it back up. We can do anything that we put our minds and hearts and hands to do. All it takes is taking that first step. And bartering is very important. It's actually a group on Facebook, Black-owned business bartering. So it's a group where that's all they do is barter. So if you get an opportunity, look that up on Facebook. There is a black business owned barters right on Facebook. It's a group page where you can barter with other business owners. So yeah, please share that. Let's do everything we can to share. Like you said, sharing things, posting things on our page is very, very important, because you'd be surprised at a lot of people that do not know what to do. So let's talk about this sisterhood. Let's talk about the sisterhood. I'm going to start with you, Kay, because this is something that Miss Diva K has really had on her heart about sisterhood. How can we build one another up? You know, how can we not tear each other down? How can we not compete with one another? How can we lift one another up? I'm interested to hear what my sisters have to say on this topic, because I got something to say too. Okay, go.
So I actually, last week as we ended the show, I was on my way home from set, and one of my first cousins, Patrice, had given me a call, and she was just speaking to me about how well we're doing on the show and how she's excited for the ladies that's on the show, and she's happy to see, you know, women come together as we are doing. And she said, "Cuz, you should do, you should speak about sistership." She said, "You're very good and always complimenting women and trying to uplift and motivate other women." And I said, okay. And as I thought about it, I was like, yeah, that is what I do. And, you know, I love doing that. So to have, we have to first, we have to be happy for other women. And I mean genuinely be happy for other women. Not have no jealous streak in your bone at all about what the next woman is accomplishing. Because you can't do that and say that you're representing sisterhood. You have to be loyal.
Absolutely.
Okay? And no competition, as my sister Kat said, no competition. You're not competing against each other. You can come together and help one another and put your ideas together and, you know, see where it can take you. And I tell you, I have a best friend that I've been friends with since we were like in the 4th grade. And she, her mother was, you know, had things established, she was an entrepreneur, still is an entrepreneur, and had things in place where, you know, they were able to get things. I mean, cars and, you know, clothes and different things. But because that was my friend, I never felt to be jealous of her. You know, she was able to have a lot of things that most of us couldn't have. And we're still friends to this day. You know, it's
awesome.
40 years of friendship.
That's
and that, you know, that's my sister. That's my best friend. That's my cousin. And that is literally my oldest son, godmother. And I'm speaking about Trina Williams.
Okay.
And she, you know, you cannot be friends with someone or come into a unity and think that you're going to be sisters with somebody and not be happy for them. You have to be happy.
Absolutely. So we got to get Tanya in, because you know our segment isn't much long, so we have to get you in. We got to hear what you got to say as well. Those are some really great and valid points that Kay just shared with us about sisterhood, and it is awesome to have a friend, to be a friend with somebody for that long, and I'm sure that was even a journey during that sisterhood as well. So what about you, Tanya?
I agree with all of that, absolutely. I also think a big part of sisterhood is wanting to preserve relationships no matter what. So as sisters, we are definitely going to have times when we have fallen outs with each other. Things just don't kind of happen the way that we think that they should. But you know, if that's your sister truly, you're going to want to work to preserve that relationship and put it back together the best way you can.
Absolutely.
One of my dearest friends is somebody that we had a falling out a few years ago. And our friendship was so strong that it really honestly didn't even require an apology for us to move on from it, because it was so important to us to have the relationship that we just knew that we could both just let it go.
Right.
And when somebody that you've had a falling out with can come to you in a later circumstance, she knows that I'm going through a difficult situation right now that I'm trying to navigate, and she has, you know, when I laid out this situation for her, and she immediately went into, how do I support you? How do I help you?
Wow.
You know, here's the key to my home. Anytime you need to be here, my door is open to you. You don't even have to call me. What can I do for you? How can I take care of you? Calling me every day, checking in on me. So that to me is what sisterhood is all about. It's about forgiveness. It's about knowing that there's going to be times when one person is up and one is down, and how we can balance each other out and help us get back on track, and that we keep focused on what's important. The disagreements, the arguments, you know, the moments that we don't see each other eye to eye, those are solid moments. They're not the big picture. And so we need to focus on the big picture, be forgiving, be loving, and just try to support each other, you know, no matter what the circumstances are. Focus on the big picture. We got enough enemies.
That's
we got
the
enough
truth.
enemies.
That is the truth.
That's absolutely true.
I want to read something that one of our viewers said, and that was Deborah. Thank you again, Deborah. Deborah said, real sisterhood is alive and well. I think more now than ever. We are exchanging information and ideas. We are supporting each other mentally, spiritually, and physically. She said, one of the things you have to do is be truthful without being mean, and be loyal. And that is so true.
That's true. Wow.
One of the things that I was going to say about sisterhood is that we have to have that safe space with our sister. And loyalty is really, really important, as well as having wisdom. Wisdom to make the right decisions, because you got to understand, we're not going to always agree. And there may be a falling out, but our relationship should be stronger than that falling out, where we're going to work towards getting back to where we were, you know, to discuss it, to communicate effectively with one another. And a lot of times one of our sisters may make us feel some type of way, and they may come off like they're being negative, and then we walk away feeling some type of way, and then we go talk to the next sister about it. Well, that sister may not necessarily be friends with the other sister that you have, and because they don't know them, they only hear your side of the story, then they may feed that negativity instead of coming to using wisdom to say to you, hey, you need to go back to your sister, and you need to communicate with her to say, hey, what you said to me affected me. It hurt me. To give that other sister the opportunity to say, that was not my intention. Let me explain to you why I said what I said. And I'm sorry if I affected you. We have to learn to say we're sorry. I haven't always been a person that say I'm sorry. Okay, but I thank God that, you know, He will create change in you. Where sometimes you got to be the bigger person and say, you know what, I'm sorry. You know, because we can get in an argument saying, no, I didn't mean it like that. You know, and that's all we focus on is, I ain't mean it like that, instead of saying, you know what, I'm sorry you felt that way. And I apologize if I hurt you. You know, we have to learn to get into a place where we can have empathy for somebody else, where we can understand their stance. That's their perspective. Who am I to say I didn't hurt you? Because I did hurt you from your perspective. So if you're telling me that I hurt you, and in my mind I'm thinking, no, I didn't. You have to get beyond that. You have to understand where that person is coming from. If they say they hurt you, they hurt you. And you just have to say, you know what, I'm sorry I hurt you.
Yeah,
but let's talk about this because I really didn't intend to do that.
Yeah.
So, you know, those are some of the things that we have to be unselfish. That's another thing, that we can't be selfish. We have to be compassionate about one another, and we have to definitely learn how to listen.
Yes.
Ooh, we could be some bad listeners, y'all. Come on, we got to talk real about our sisterhood, because our sisters can cut the fool when we want to with our emotional self.
Yes. Yes.
We can cut the fool, you know, when we want to, because we can be so emotional, and sometimes we have like a group of friends, but how all of them are different.
Unique.
Very unique in their own way, and you have to learn that particular friend.
Yes.
Even though, and this, I'm just being real, you can't tell every friend everything.
That's right.
Right.
You have to know which friend, because
that's right.
You may be a loyal friend, and you've been knowing this friend for years, okay?
That's right.
But you also know that your friend can't hold water.
That's right.
So that's your fault. You can't get mad at your friend because you already know you done told her something before, and she went and then told some other people, and it got back to you. Now you mad again because you done went back and told the same friend. No, learn your friend.
Yeah.
You can still hang out with your friend. You can still love your friend. But then there are certain things you got to know. I can't tell her this if I don't want nobody else to know. And that's just being real. I might have to go over here and tell this friend because I know she ain't going to tell nobody else, you know. But that friend may have a weakness that my other friend don't have. That's why you study. Know those among you. Know who you labor among. I just had to learn throughout the years, and then making new friends, making new sisters. Can somebody talk to me about when you begin to make new sisters? Because it's hard for women to open their hearts to a new female to become a sister friend.
Let me just say, coming here to Georgia and leaving home, not because I wanted to, but because I was forced to because of Hurricane Katrina, I was like, I don't need no new friends. I don't trust them. I don't want to know them. I don't know who they are and don't want to know who they are. But I tell you, through the years, I have met some very good women. And one of them sitting right here on this here set with me, Catrice. And you have to be open. You have to be willing to just try. And like you said, Kat, listen and observe. And I'm a very good observer. I hear things that you forget you said.
Okay.
You probably just said it 2 seconds ago, and I remember it next week.
Okay.
So, you know, it's difficult, and I was that person who had a hard time with trusting females. And I'm glad that I opened up.
Good.
Because sometimes you can miss out on some very beautiful relationships.
Right.
Very, very beautiful sisterhoodship because of somebody that did something to us a long time ago. And, you know, and you never know what could bloom out of a new sisterhood.
Exactly.
Doesn't mean you got to forget your old sisters, but there's nothing wrong with embracing new sisters. So listen, we at Talk Show Divas encourage you, get you some new sisters involved, show them how to love if they don't know how. You can do it. You can do it. We appreciate you for tuning in with us today. Again, we're streaming live every Sunday at 4:30 p.m. right here in Douglasville, Georgia, with me, your host, Kat Davis, my co-hosts, Latanya and Kay, and our executive producer, Felix Washington, our social media manager, Shantae Barksdale. And listen. We need to see you every Sunday when you can. Every Sunday. Stay tuned for Talk Show Kings as well at 6:30 p.m. today. Go look them up. You don't want to miss it. Thank you again. We love you, viewers. Have a great day. Bye.
Hi, I'm Michael Cowell, your funniest man on the planet, and you're watching TV 1061, your global network. Stay tuned, because that's how they do it over here. Big time party! All right, see y'all later.
And you're watching TV 1061, your global network.
TV 1061, conceptualizing your ideas across the world and beyond.